Hi, beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Scorpio, this is your mid-July read. So think mid-July until mid-August, give or take. And we're going to start with an overall feel here and then go deeper and deeper into the message so that you get, at the end of this, you just really feel that this is the clearest message ever. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I hope you're having hope you're happy too. I am hoping you're having a great summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. So we have two cards immediately. Ace of Gabriel is coming out there, so there might be some new passion, some new insights, some new projects that you want to start. Really high vibration there. With 10 of Gabriel, so there's like time for something new. We're not wanting to visit or revisit any old patterns, any old, like we don't want to go down in the basement again. Like we already know what's down there, Scorpio. Like this is a time to really try something new. You're being guided into something new. And one more there. And then King of Raphael. This is really high vibrational energies, like really high vibration. King of Raphael. So we have Ace 10, which is like a completion, a wrapping up. And then King of Raphael, which represents a really, really high vibration and really high energy as well. So that's like the most important thing I feel right now. Like there's a lot of energy infused in whatever, in yourself, in whatever project, in whatever situation you're in. Like it's a lot of infusion energy-wise there. And this is about like, it's okay to trust. It's okay for you to move forward accordingly, like to how you feel. You can trust your emotions. You can trust your intuition. You can even perhaps trust other people around you helping you along on the path. We're going to go deeper and clarify that and then really get into the message. Okay, so Ace of Gabriel, why is that here? Ace of Gabriel, please. Emotional loss, interesting. We're giving back the old to the light, like you're transforming, transcending things into the light. 10 of Gabriel. Choose wisely. You're being shown a new path, and then choose wisely comes out. And then King of Raphael. King of Raphael, why is that here? For Scorpio, mid-July. Ooh, 3 cards for the last position. Wow. She yelled. Prosperity begins. Prosperity begins. Number 1. With balance, number 11. So we have 111 situation there, and we already had 10 there. So there's a lot of ones here. It's a lot of alignment, balance. Together with the throat chakra. And we have 2 number 5 on the table as well. I'm going to get into the numerology there in a bit. Throat chakra coming out there. Okay. So we're starting with Ace of Gabriel, which is, like I said, a high vibrational energy. It's a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. The chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. Like there's a new opportunity on the table. And if this doesn't feel practical to you, I mean, not like, oh, this is not practical for me right now. Or like, if this is not something like that's happening in your life in terms of career, job, just anything in your life, but this is rather emotional, then this is about like having a chance to get yourself back. Does that make sense? Like to just really step into your own potential, your own power. There's a lot of things underneath like happening. There's a lot of transformation going on right now for you, Scorpio, where probably on a daily basis, there's something coming up to the surface. So, okay, it's one thing at a time. If you don't feel amazing, if you don't feel wondrous, if you don't feel like, oh my God, like there's such a, like I'm talking about this infusion of really high vibrational energy, like this is really cool. If you don't feel that at all, it might be that you're more sort of hung up on the things that wants to release. I just had a phone session with a person the other day, and you know, she was just, every once in a while she would just feel like, oh my God, am I on my way to sort of go back into when I burned out, like when I just really, she'd just gone on and on and on and on for work or for life or for like, and not really stopping, but just really going on to the next thing and then on to the next thing, and not really paying attention to her emotions or not really paying attention to her body's signals. Little things here and there like showed up. She's aware of that, but then eventually she just crashed and burned. And she's ever since then been so afraid to get back to that place of like not listening and not hearing the body signals, and you know, and so now I was like, well, I don't feel that at all. Like I don't feel that burning out in your body. I don't feel that low energy. I just don't pick that up in your sphere at all. And I was like, it's probably rather the reason why things come up, like the reason why she feels like she starts to remember certain things, or there's an emotion, like, or just a feeling that sort of just sweeps over her, that she was like, am I going back there? No, you're just probably getting that feeling because you are now in such a good place emotionally, wisdomly, bodily, that there's room to take care of it. So I'm getting this emotional loss. I'm getting this, okay, so you're coming into such a good place, Scorpio. You're finding yourself in a, we have balance at the end of this. Like we have prosperity begins. We have King of Rapha. Like it's a really beautiful energy here. Like it's talking about how you're really on your way to such a beautiful place. And because you are, there's room for, and just like I said to her, like if you're 3 years old or if you're 6 years old and something traumatic happens to you, or like 11, you don't have to be that super young, but just really young and something happens to you, that you just don't have the tools to work with in the moment. You might even suppress it to the point that you forget that it ever happened, like something like in traumatic event that you just don't remember. And then you all of a sudden, when you're 20 or 25 or 35 or 40, whatever, something clicks and it comes back up to life. Like, oh my God, I completely forgot about it. I completely suppressed it because there was no room to deal with it. That's the defense mechanism of the body. That's so brilliant of the body and the mind, that it sort of compartmentalized, like it puts it away. Not necessarily because it was so traumatic. I mean, it was traumatic enough for you to put it away. It was traumatic enough because at the moment you don't have the tools or wisdom or space even, like the energetic space to deal with it. And so therefore we compartmentalize the thing, the situation, the trauma, and then when you're old enough, wise enough, have space enough to deal with it, then it comes back up. So sometimes I think we confuse it for like, this was so horrible. That was so horrible that I just didn't remember it. Yes, it was horrible enough, but it is actually not due to the horror of it or the severity of the trauma. It's due to how equipped you are in dealing with it. So it's trauma enough for you for sure, but then like now there's something about now. I hope you're following me here. I'm not talking about that this has happened to you or this is what you're actually dealing with, unless you are, because I never seem to sort of just cause and bringing something up. This is probably something that someone's going through. But my point here is that you're in such a phenomenal place, Scorpio. You're finding yourself in such a phenomenal place, such a wise, knowledgeable, high vibrational place, that now every once in a while memories, thoughts, feelings, emotions come up to the surface not because you are not doing a good job at moving forward, not because you're going to start to judge and say, have I not come further than this? Like, I thought I worked through this. Like, aren't we done here? You know, yes, you are. You're done to the point that you can deal with it. And the way that you deal with it, you just allow it to be and transcend itself back into the light, like back to where it came from. Once back when, like you transform that, transcend it back to where it came from. You don't need to go through therapy for it. You don't need to analyze it. Don't need to judge it. You haven't regressed. Is that what it's called? Like you haven't gone backwards. This is you going so forwards that you have enough space and room to take care of the things that comes up to the surface. Then just allow it to be there. That's why I say maybe you don't feel all this glorious, all this empress balanced awesomeness. That's why you might feel like it's a little bit of turmoil when it comes to your emotions and feelings, because it's like it's a little bit of a roller coaster. But the more that you tap into understanding, like this is the overall Scorpio right now, and that therefore you have more room to process things that wants to come up to the surface. That's going to be an ongoing job for a bit, but that's going to then eventually peter out when you have sort of stabilized yourself. This is allowing for you to come into this new place. I love this for you because it's like, okay, so now when you have come into this new place, now when you have, and if this is very practical, if this is very 3D, now that you have come to this new job, now when you're in this new relationship, if this is not just a emotional journey for you, if this is very like hands-on practical, you got a new job, that it has allowed for you to come to this new place right now in your life where your guides are with you saying, okay, so then now that we're finding ourselves on this new path, on this new journey, in this new emotional practical place, let's not go down the same path or the same road that we've done before. Let's move away from the basement. Let's move away from the recent already lived I don't know how to say it. The recent already lived life, your past, or the lower vibrational parts of you. We don't have to revisit those. Like they're going to take care of themselves all on their own, just by sort of emerging and re-emerging up into the light, and then just disappear on the by themselves. So let's just try a new path. Let's go into this new doorway, this new portal, and choose a different path. Choose, like, really sit with it. I see this man sitting on the dock. Do you see that? His hands are out, like his hands like this. His hands are out, and he's like, okay, really feeling where he's going. He's sitting on the water, so it's like very little disturbance, very little clutter, very little like that hinders the thought flow. To just sit with your emotions, sit with your thoughts, sit with your feelings, and whatever choice, whatever movement, like direction moving forward right now from this very newfound place, you're making the most beautiful choices. Okay, and that's both, we have 10 and 7 there, so it's a completion, and it's with the 10, and it's a completion again with the 7. It's like, okay, you've done enough here now. Like, you've done enough where you came from. Like, it's time for a new adventure, basically. Mid-July until mid-August. Then we have the King of Raphael. Yes, it's safe to trust, the ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. You're coming into this newfound place. Like, a lot of things happening around you. It's like you're starting to like what you see. And it doesn't matter what age you're at. It doesn't matter what you're trying, what you're in right now in your life. Like, it's like you found this place in your life where it's like, I like it here. I'm starting to like what I see. And right, I was going to come back to the numerology. So we have the prosperity begins in balance. I look at that. So 111. which is another portal situation there, 111. Balance and prosperity begins. You're coming into this place. You probably have put down this seed a long time ago, like a long time ago. And you just sort of have been waiting on yourself, I think. You've been waiting for yourself to catch up to your own dreams. You've been waiting for yourself to catch up with whatever seed you've been putting down in the past. Things you've been wanting, things you've been wishing for, things you have looked forward to, maybe for a while, like a good while, like years. And now you're catching up to your own vibrational dream. Does that make sense? Like first it might be like a utopia, and first it might be a pipe dream, and first it might be like, that'll never happen because it's like it's way too out of your reach. And now you've done the work. Like now you've come more and more into balance. You're coming more and more into alignment. And so you're starting to match up with those things that you have put, like the seed you put down for such a long time ago. You might also feel like it's timing. Now it's timing. It's time, but it's also timing. Like everything's starting to come together. Everything starts to fall into place. This is mid-July until mid-August. And then you're screwed. No, you're not. And the throat chakra, I love how this shows up here, because this is like, okay, now Scorpio is starting to, I know in the recent past we have had a little bit like Scorpio is really going their own way, being sort of called out for being weird or different, or the black sheep of the family, or like going against the stream, or like something like that, and like probably struggled a little bit. And now it's like you're finally coming into your own skin, starting to like what you see, speaking your truth. This is a throat chakra, so like speaking the truth, standing in your most authentic version of yourself, putting your foot down, speaking authentically, like speaking beautiful things into existence for the sheer reason that you're very much in alignment. Like everything aligns. Your words aligns with your actions. Your actions are aligns with your thoughts, and it just goes round and round like that. I'm not saying you're doing that all the time, but I'm saying you're coming into this very beautiful place where more and more things are in alignment. We have 111 there on the table, so it's like that's so aligned. 11, 111, things like that might show up. And then also because we have 5 on the table, and there's so much balance and alignment here, I just feel like you're coming, it hasn't been easy. Like 5 is a challenge, 5 is a hurdle, 5 is an obstacle, but 5 is also an awesome opportunity for change. And we have a lot of change here. You're taking a new route, you're choosing something new, and coming into your own right. And I think you really deep down, like on a deep level, understands truly what that means to come into your own right. So when we have 111, we have this type of growth, we have transformation here. We have 5 on the table. I'm saying you're going for mastery, meaning you're really starting to understand yourself, you're starting to understand your position in this life. And even though you're not fully there, it's just the beginning of the understanding, and that goes such a far way. Right? Okay, beautiful Scorpio. That's what I have for you from mid-July until mid-August. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.